problem started happening within the party. Uh, you know, uh, Yogendra Bhai and Prashant Ji both are highly respected by everyone in the party, including my own self and I'm sure by Arvind and everybody else. The challenges started happening sometime last year, early last year, when Yogen Bhai was very keen that Arvind quit as chief minister. And strategically, I think there was no other reason to it. Strategically, he felt, because like I said, politics has to be played like politics. He at that point of time felt, and many along with him also felt, that we are not getting enough maneuverability with the Congress support, and it would be better if we quit, and would therefore emerge as sort of getting martyred in the process, and that would get us more sympathy. And many had that same view. Arvind did not have that view, and Arvind felt that he should continue. So Arvind and Sanjay Singh both were of the view we should continue, and the rest. When I say the rest, I'm talking the PAC at this point in time. In the PAC felt that we should quit and that would help. And from there, sort of these differences started emerging, where the political perspective which Yogen Bhai used to play and put forward, and what Arvind's own view used to always or more often than not differ. And from there was a starting of relationships where there was a breakdown of communication between the two of them, to some extent. But then beyond that, there was a difference of opinion with the Lok Sabha elections. Arvind was very keen that we contest about 65 seats, which we had published are against those people who've been sort of corrupt, branded corrupt and whatever you call them. And then again, Yogen Bhai felt that we should contest all over so that we can build an organization from scratch. So I think till that point of time, these differences were political, which is fine, which can happen in any political party. There was debate and discussion around all of this, and whatever the view was finally taken was adopted. I think after the Lok Sabha debacle, that we suffered, we misread the people's. We misread public mood. I think what happened was, if you look at the way the first assembly election happened, that time the UPA government was in power. When the UPA government was in power, there was a huge amount of disenchantment in the people with corruption because of the UPA. And we were seen as torchbearers of this new kind of politics, which is honest and different and idealistic and so on and so forth. And that anger of people translated into support for us. By the time the Lok Sabha elections happened, we absolutely had no clue. We still felt the same way. Whereas the people's mood had shifted. People now were looking for an alternative to the UPA who could build a story of hope for the country and for themselves. We misread that. We felt people are still angry and they will vote for us. There'll be a miracle like it happened maybe in 1977 or in 1989 with VP Singh. And we misread that, and clearly we were not able to position ourselves in the minds of the people that we represent, and we can do something in terms of delivering on that home. We're not that big enough, and therefore Modi took that place, and they got that mandate, which represented hope. At that point in time, I think Yogen Bhai and Prashant Ji felt that we should have adopted a different strategy, and we should look at building the party, fighting every election, going bottom up, whether it's a municipal election, whether it's a panchayat election, so on and so forth. And Arvind clearly, after the Lok Sabha elections, felt that we made a mistake, and he felt that we should focus on in pockets where we have strength and try and build there, and then maybe eventually after 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, whatever it may be, look at expanding in different areas. So that was the background to the differences between them. The second was, I think, we have to all understand this, because I'm sure we all go through this in our daily lives. There's a lot of insecurity that Yogen Ji and Prashant Ji developed with regard to sort of equitability in the leadership. See, what happens is that, let's say, 4 friends who are friends start a company together. Naturally, one of them will have to become the face of the company. It's a fact of life. You take any business in the world, it has happened. 4, 5, 3, 2 people will start something, but maybe all of them remain together, and but there is one person who becomes the face of the party. That face of the party was and is Arvind, became Arvind rather. And so you may feel, you may have a view that, you may accept that or you may not. There are many who accepted that and realized that though we are friends, though we are equals, but the people accept Arvind as the face of the party. And I think that is something what, especially Yogen Bhai was possibly not able to digest or did not like that perspective. And he felt that, this is not right, and possibly they've all sort of started out together. And he has an equal right on the leadership and so on and so forth. So which he may have had, thank you, which he may have had, but unfortunately the people don't see, the people of the country don't see it like that. The people see Arvind as the face of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is something, should be understood if you're a political person. That does not make you any lesser, but that's somewhere I think where there's a major issue with Yogen Bhai and with Prashant Bhushan. And possibly due to that reason, they were, over a period of time, became insistent that Arvind should be replaced as convener of the party and that position should go to Yogen Yadav. Now, that is also fine, that's also not a problem, and Arvind didn't have a problem with that. But the rest of the party, the rest of the cadre, and so many of our supporters within India and abroad were not willing to accept that. And we all realize that because we end of the day, politics is about faces, and in the new politics that we talk about today is about faces, and in that scenario and situation, Arvind best represents the Aam Aadmi Party's public persona and public face.
Can I just quickly,
Yeah.
you said that so many of the supporters in India and abroad don't accept that. Do you say that on the basis of some counting or statistical evidence or anecdotal perception?
Don't
Accept the idea of Yogendra as convener versus Arvind. I mean, is
as,
it just
not
anecdotal
as convener,
evidence?
as the face of
As the face. No, but
convener
is
is
this,
different.
is
Convener
this
is fine.
anecdotal or is this statistical?
No, this is statistical. This is statistical, purely statistical. And not is it just statistical, the fact of the matter remains, being a convener is a position in the party. But being a public face is different. Being the face of the party is different. They're two different things. So you could have two different people in these roles conveniently, in some cases, and in some cases you may not. So history is replete with examples of both kinds. So, yeah.
I'm very specific about the statistics when
Yeah.
you say. May I know any document about the statistics?
There-
Because when we tell about national convener, I believe that it should be a national representation, and I think
So-
in democracy there should be an internal election.
So,
which we
so,
should be
so we spoke to about 95% of the National Council members.
Again, national council members are not elected by the members as of now. I believe.
Not elected by?
Members of the party.
No, National Council members are those who are the primary founder members of the party.
Yes.
So-
active volunteers.
Yeah, so and that's because the National Council has a term for 2 years. That term will end now in this year. Then we will have a new National Council, and then that will again be as per the Constitution, will be elected through the state and the district committees in the same manner.
So the
But
statistics what you're talking about
this
the
is based on National Council members. National Council members, which consists of basically essentially everybody in the party system. So it consists of the district level conveners, it consists of the district bodies, the state bodies, and the central national executive and the PAC and all of that. So see, when you don't have you have to understand the history of the party is 1.5 years old. So what do you fall back on? On whose view do you fall back on?
No, my question was only about
Yeah,
statistics.
so that's what I'm telling you. So the view to fall back on is talk to the founding members of the party, and if a majority of the founding members of the party have the same view, then the face, they have no problem in who the convener is. But the public face, so who is the chief ministerial face of Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi? There was one view on it that it should be Arvind Kejriwal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That is something which Yogi Yadav was not accepting. And not only was he not accepting that, they clearly did not want Arvind and Aam Aadmi Party to win this election. And I am personally aware of that because when we started Delhi Dialogue, Ashish Khaitan and me went to Prashant Bhushan House in Noida to ask him to preside and head Delhi Dialogue because of his seniority. Because of his seniority and everything. And Yogen Yadav and Prashant Bhushan were there at his house. And we had a long meeting with him. Lasted for about 2.5 hours. And this was sometime in November last year. And they categorically told me and Ashish Khaitan that you guys will win 10 seats in the assembly elections, and Arvind and the Aam Aadmi Party is finished, and both of you and many more like you are nothing but chamchas of Arvind, and and then of course I am aware of multiple instances where they discouraged funding, they discouraged volunteers to come in into Delhi, and so many other things, so many other challenges of the same kind. There is of course, there are people who've come back to me and told him that, but Yogendra Yadav addressed 90 public meetings over 1.5 months, which is fine. But if I count Yogendra Yadav in the same boat as, let's say, a Sanjay Singh or an Ashutosh or a Arvind, they all addressed somewhere over 300 meetings each. If I take it from, so whichever view I count it from, I think that commitment level was far higher. Prashant Bhushanji raised issues with 12 candidates. We verified through the discipline committee about all 12 of them. 2 were changed because we found things which were not right. In the case of one, there was a personal civil matter with that candidate which did not interfere in the political candidature. So we did not do anything about it, and the other 9 were perfectly clean. So, all these issues that, that candidates were wrongly selected. See, the point is you are choosing 70 candidates. You are choosing 70 candidates from a list which is typically being evaluated at the constituency level. Every constituency had a constituency team, an observer, a ward observer, a district observer, a constituency assembly observer, and a team within the assembly, so you have ward in charge, you have assembly in charge, and so on and so forth. All of them together, put forward names which included themselves in many cases as well. So typically for 70 seats and an average, we had about 18 to 20 people applying to become a candidate, and out of those 18, 20, 7, 8 were maybe 5, 6 or 7, 8 were not related to the party in that constituency, but 10, 12 were, So somebody was holding a post in the party, or somebody was just a volunteer in the party in that area, and he felt he could be a good candidate. So, so this list of 18, 20 was also evaluated at the candidate, at the assembly level. Before the names of 4 or 5 suggested names are sent to the DEC, which is the Delhi Election Committee, which was making the final recommendations to the PAC. So in that sense it was very transparent. And then I was part of the DEC, and I recused myself from the DEC when Arvind wanted me to fight. So I said that it's not proper for me. So, because I didn't live in Dwarka, and my name was never there. I didn't apply to fight an election in Dwarka. So, but apart from that, the process was in that sense.
Sorry, when did you move to DEC? Which month was this?
December. So, so it was as transparent as we could keep it. Some of the things we realized over a period of time were not practical. There's a lot of angst about it. That you had earlier said that you will make it open, let candidates apply, let them get 100, 200, 500 signatures, and then let those be put on the website and let people give their comments for 305 days. But it's a very unwieldy and an impractical system. We realize, when you start afresh something, there is, a lot of things which you do which sometimes may not be practical at the ground level to do. For 70 seats, you cannot have, we did it in the Lok Sabha. For UP, I can give you an example. UP has 81 Lok Sabha seats. For 81 Lok Sabha seats, we had 3,600 applicants. There was no way you could evaluate 3,600 applicants in any form. So we didn't want to go through that, because we felt the party organization is matured enough to be able to throw up 10, 12, 18, 20 good names, which is what happened. And out of the 18, 20 good names, 5 or 6 were recommended. And out of those 5, 6, 1 was finally selected, or 2 were finally shortlisted and selected, out of which then 1 was given the ticket to fight. So it was as practical and as transparent in that sense as possible. So for example, if you ask me, were people in the constituency aware of who those 18 names are? Yes, they were. If you ask me who the 5, 6 shortlisted names were which were sent to the DEC, yes, they were. So that level of transparency was kept, and had to be and should be as well, which is totally unlike that you see in any other political party in India. There's just a list which comes out and says this is the candidate. Sometimes the candidate himself doesn't know that he's going to be candidate from there. So that all of that was done, and I think even after going through all that, there are sometimes you do make mistakes, and I have no hesitation in saying that we did do a couple of wrong selection of candidates. Incidentally, Tomar was not Tomar was not somebody who Prashant Bhushan was very vociferously against. He was not.
Among the 12 that were disputed. Among
Yes,
the 12
he was not among those 12 which he was vociferously against. So just as an example,
What
So
about the Bharti? That he
No, he was there.
no, Somnath was always.
No, Tomar was there.
No.
But
He
earlier,
dropped
because
Prashant
he
Bhushan.
came from the other party, they said, why you are taking
No,
the
which
people
is
who-
fine, but no,
they
but-
cannot switch
but-
in the last minute.
That there were many others. There was 19 candidates who came from other parties.
Right.
So yeah, so there's
That was
not.
also wrong.
No, but why? But
Because
Let me
you started as a
ask one question.
honest-
let me answer your question first.
Okay.
One second. Yeah.
Well, on the basis of your analysis, I understand that the split is mainly a result of jealousy. This is what it implies.
I don't think so. What I'm
I
trying
mean,
to say is.
somebody didn't want that, somebody was jealous that Arvind Kejriwal is becoming more popular, and they are not.
So but that
That's what-
question can only be answered by Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan. I can't.
Now the second
But,
thing,
on
now the
that-
second thing that I see is dominating is not what is being done, but who is doing it. I think all these questions of electing this person and that person is primarily aimed at these people who will be pursuing a certain agenda. That means what they should do. I think people should be looking at that goal. Is that being met? Those people who are in the picture, are they doing a good job? That's what matters,
Absolutely.
not who is doing it.
No, I totally agree.
I
with
think
you.
the whole discussion, or maybe even in India, the whole discussion about against or in favor of
So-
Aam Aadmi Party is mostly based on that.
So
Not what is being done, but who is doing
So
it. That
I-
is what it is.
yeah. So
Sir,
I.
we have one more point I want to add.
Let
along
me
with
let me
this.
just complete his point. And one you mentioned about the split. So I don't think there's a split. A split means at least, if not a halfway split, it would mean a 1/3 way split, 1/4 way, 1/10 way split, 1/15 way split. I don't see a split in that sense. At least in India. Of course, outside the challenges are different because here the information which percolates is relatively limited, and a lot of what you get to see is what you see from the media, and you don't possibly sometimes get a view from right inside in terms of what's happening and what happened at that level, which is what I'm here to tell you all about. So that's what I was just telling you. So that is one. So in that sense, I don't think it's a split in the party. And even till today, I was in that meeting where Manish Sisodia told Yogendra Yadav and Prashant Bhushan that the doors of the party are always open to you, provided you come back unconditionally, which is fair towards every volunteer in the party. You come back as a volunteer, you and I all are volunteers of the party. We cannot put conditions in joining or leaving the party, and we cannot have a quid pro quo in any sense. We all join back, we all are in the party, for a cause, and that cause is much higher. Secondly, the party is bigger than everybody, including Arvind. Nobody is bigger than the party. Anybody who starts believing at any point in time is bigger than the party, he or she, I think there's a challenge there. So I think that is something which should have been addressed long time back. And like I said earlier in the discussion, party has provided many platforms to voice your differences, and I do it. I can tell you that Arvind is very, very, stubborn. With my own experience, I can tell you. And during Delhi Dialogue, we used to have major arguments. And it was, his logic was simple. Adarsh, मेरे को तुम समझा दो या मेरी बात समझ लो. He's that blunt that either you tell me, convince me or get convinced. So you may call it from a colored prism, it may appear as dictatorship, but I would see it as best possible debate possible. I mean, he's telling me, you convince me, and so maybe 4 times out of 10 I have been able to convince him, and 6 times I've not.
अभी अरविंद ने तोमर साहब की डिग्रियां देखी थी, उन्होंने टीवी पे कह दिया था मैंने देख लिया,
जी।
एवरीथिंग इज फाइन.
बिल्कुल
सही कहा तुमने.
बिल्कुल हाँ.
जब उनपे इतना वो है, सब लोगों ने भरोसा किया था कि एक ईमानदार पार्टी, ऑनेस्ट पार्टी, एक आदमी पे अगर ब्लेम आ गया, वीसी ने लिख के कह दिया दिस इज फ्रॉड, उनको फॉरन मॉरल ग्राउंड पे उनको कहना चाहिए था आप 4 महीने के लिए बैठ जाइए, जैसे कुछ होगा हम इमीडिएटली कर देंगे. और वो पूरी की पूरी चीज कल वो फैजाबाद में गए थे, मैं यूपी का हूँ, आपके चचा को मैं जानता हूँ, सुनील शास्त्री साहब को. तो वहां पे गए, फैजाबाद पहुंचे, उनको पुलिस वालों का रास्ता बताइए, ब्लैंक. कौन सी जगह थी, ब्लैंक. कौन से कमरे में थे, ब्लैंक. किस कैंटीन में गए थे, ब्लैंक. I mean, he was fraud.
So
This
But see,
person is a
today's
fraud.
newspaper, it says in 2 newspapers, they are saying then in that, what do you call-
In Faizabad, BSc degree is he got
not
from.
BSc, but the law degree, it says that they have,
No,
they
LLB
have
degree is
shown
fine.
that he has actually passed it.
That
right?
is
Let him answer.
that is not the point. I think-
Let him answer.
That is the point. That is the point. So honesty is the USP.
So I'll tell you.
Whether you win one
देखिए,
seat
इसमें ऐसा
or
है,
100 seat,
ये बात जब
means should be
Anish bhai,
honest.
Anish bhai, let me
ये
answer.
बात जब हुई थी तो मैं आपको I'll tell you. So you know when this happened, when he was appointed as minister, so then this thing came up about his degree, and Kumar Vishwas, me and Sanjay Singh went to meet him in his office in the Delhi Secretariat, and he showed us copies of all his degrees, and he said कि मेरी सारी degrees genuine है. मैं कॉलेज नहीं, मैं किसी भी डिग्री के लिए कॉलेज या कोर्स में नहीं गया.
सब अपने आप आ गए.
हाँ मतलब जो भी
मतलब क्लास भी उन्होंने अटेंड नहीं किया.
नहीं, he said कॉलेज नहीं गया, कोर्स नहीं, कॉलेज
It
कोर्स
is
नहीं
a
किया.
degree.
No, it's not.
Of course.
India
में
No,
मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ.
सुनो,
He said कि मेरी डिग्री सब जेन्युइन है, मगर मैं कॉलेज नहीं गया. ये इंडिया में कोई बड़ी बात नहीं. आप यूपी में है तो आप जानते हैं कि बिहार में जाके आप पैसा देके कल डिग्री बनवा के ला सकते हैं.
Correct.
डिग्री जेन्युइन
पैसा
है.
डिग्री
जेन्युइन
है, means
पढ़ाई
genuine.
लिखाई करी नहीं करी वो किसी को नहीं पता.
There I agree with you.
So ये बात
लेवल ये आ चुका है.
ये
That's
बात
fine.
जाके हम लोगों ने उसका अरविंद जी को बताई, and we all had a see, sometimes you have to take a collective decision. You know, you are playing blind. It's a gamble. You know how the media is after us at all points in time. उस समय हम लोग को ये लगा कि अगर अभी इस समय हम लोग इस मीडिया प्रेशर में आके इसको बोल देंगे तो मीडिया इज पिलर एंड इस डिग्री का जेन्युइन. तो क्या डिग्रीज की जेन्युइन है, बात वहाँ पे खत्म हो जाती है. कैसे आई कैसे आई डिग्री, कहाँ से, उससे हमें क्या करना, डिग्री जेन्युइन है ना.
See, I think Shakil,
Because
There you are
I
wrong.
think that is where
You
I
lost
think we
your
have
moral
lost our
ground right there.
It's
कि
okay.
हमारे means कैसे भी हो
नहीं,
and justify.
I think your
That's
point-
not correct.
No, let's not.
But you have to understand. You have to sometimes see the bigger picture. I agree with you. You know, collateral damage है. But it's a, you know, अगर आप ये भी situation देखिए that उस situation में would we have, you know, what is the alternative? You know, what do we see? His degree is original. His degree is genuine. He has a genuine bona fide degree of law. He has a genuine bona fide degree of his graduation.
Genuine है ही नहीं.
One second.
When the
but
means is not,
in
the
confidence,
pre-qualification
in
is not
confidence,
correct,
in
you can't do
confidence,
this.
confidence, if he says
he's
that-
telling this to Sanjay Singh and to Kumar and I am there, we told him कि ठीक है, 1 महीने बाद, 1.5 महीने बाद you quit. आप पूरी बात मेरी सुनेंगे, 1-1.5 महीने बाद you quit, and then you know it's an honorable exit for you, and it's an honorable exit for the government. मैंने आपको सबसे पहले बोला पॉलिटिक्स को पॉलिटिक्स की तरह करना पड़ेगा. ये आप लोग जितनी जल्दी समझ लेंगे उतना सबके लिए अच्छा है. बिकॉज अगर आप नहीं समझ सकते तो हम लोग एनजीओ की तरह पार्टी नहीं चला सकते. पार्टी हैज टू वर्क लाइक अ पॉलिटिकल पार्टी. यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड द डैमेज इट वुड हैव कॉस्ट. गलती होगी, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ गलती होगी, बना दिया मंत्री
I think the damage is lower now.
उस समय अगर मान लेते गलती हो तो उस समय मीडिया धोती होती हम लोग.
नहीं,
अभी तो वही है ना.
Actually पहले उन्होंने हटा दिया होता ना, आज प्रेस कर रहा होता
आज-
मीडिया.
आज-
आज अरविंद केजरीवाल की सिचुएशन और खराब हो गई.
मैं कह रहा हूँ उससे क्या देखिए, पॉइंट इज ये गलती हो गई, अब दोबारा इस चीज का ध्यान रखें. अब you know, but what can you do? You can't turn back the clock. I am telling you how events played.